Hey friends, it's Tyler and Rachel from Vineyard Covington. We are here to interrupt your regularly scheduled life with a really great social media video.
The best.
We are committed to practicing the way of Jesus, and right now we are practicing a life of mission, which is all about joining God in sharing his love and kindness and goodness to the people around us. So we follow Jesus in this way. We want to learn from his life. He sends us out just like the Father sent him. And so we are trying to put this into practice.
Yeah. So we're making space. I mean, we've been talking about questions and opening our eyes and being aware. But this one is about making the space, the margin for an event, something to happen, an interruption to happen. And really, I love the story of the woman who had the bleeding problem and was following Jesus. And Jesus is in a crowd of people. She's following him. She just touches the hem of his garment and she's healed. But he is, he's on his way somewhere right now. And he stops. He could have just kept going, but he stops and he talks to her. He has a conversation with her. That happens so often. You see him get interrupted all the time, but he stops and he has this loving interaction with the person. So we want to be like that. We want to try that out.
Yeah. It seems like almost always the stories that we see in the gospel happen on the way somewhere or in the middle of something else, or Jesus is trying to get to this place and he has this encounter. And I think that we want to plan our lives, especially when it comes to mission and following Jesus. We want to have it all under control, and we want these things to happen and control all the outcomes. But as we try to practice this, what does it look like to be interruptible?
Yeah. I like to typically have like a schedule or like have an idea of where I'm going, or like if I'm going somewhere, I'm already sort of running late to get there. But I think it looks like adding in time and some margin into my normal schedule for something to happen and asking God to send those somethings to happen. Like this week, I started painting lessons at the Baker Hunt. And so maybe it's getting there a little bit early and see what conversations happen. Or maybe it's just hanging out a little bit longer, just building in some lingering time, really, for like some space in between my daily schedule.
Yeah, I think that time is one of the most precious resources that we have in our society. Our lives have gotten so busy again, and we jam-pack them full of things. We go from one thing to the next. What if we scheduled time to just be available to whatever might happen with the people around us? So maybe this looks like you find time this week to go to a coffee shop outside and just be present to whatever God might be doing. Maybe it means you go for a walk in your neighborhood and you are just making yourselves available. A few weeks ago, me and Joe were on a prayer walk in the neighborhood, and we walked by a couple of guys sitting out on the front porch, and we were picking up trash, and so they started talking to us. And the guy invited us to sit down on the porch and have a beer with them. And we were both in that moment just so focused on getting done with our trash pickup walk that we didn't take the opportunity and have this conversation, and who knows what would have happened.
And you could have had a beer.
But we need to learn to practice changing our mindset for how we think about our time, and really just be open to whatever God might want to be doing in the moment.
Maybe instead of just being late, I could be late for a kingdom purpose instead. That would be an awesome excuse.
That would help.
Yeah.
That would definitely help. The other thing is, we talk about things in our lives that we call divine appointments, which is kind of like this Christian-y thing that was like, God just totally set this up. I was in the right place at the right time to meet this person, and God set it all up. And I believe in that 100%. But I also think that divine appointments happen a lot more when
you're looking for it.
When we're looking for it, and when we ask for it.
And you have space for it.
And you create space for it. So what if we prayed something like this week? God, would you interrupt my schedule this week and look for opportunities for the kingdom to break in?
All right, so this week, the challenge is to create some space, some margin in our lives so that we can see hope and love and compassion just break through and see the kingdom come and the people around us all their lives. Like, see the kingdom come here. So making space for that, make some space to ask God to send you an interruption this week. So let's be interruptible.
Do it.